Dan Shaughnessy is a Boston Globe sports writer. And this week he wrote what, at least I considered, an interesting piece on Tom Brady. Now, because you're all here on New Year's Day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you probably are not football fans. But I hope you know who Tom Brady is. And the headline read, "From faceless backup to face of the franchise in 10 years." And it was all about how Tom Brady started out with the Patriots. He was the fourth string quarterback, and nobody really ever noticed him. Shaughnessy said it was like thumbing through your high school yearbook and discovering the wallflower that you ignored turned out to be Angelina Jolie. Brady had a locker right near the star quarterback, Drew Bledsoe. But he would oftentimes be pushed out of the way so the reporters could get in and talk to Bledsoe. Nobody knew that Brady would one day become the star of the team. He went, as the headline said, from a faceless backup to being the face of the franchise. Why mention this? Well, in a way, the feast of the Epiphany that we celebrate this afternoon really invites us to reflect on seeing more than what is simply on the surface. The Magi saw a star that must have been visible to everyone else, but they saw a deeper meaning. They realized it was the birth of a king, and they went in search of him. So oftentimes, things are staring us in the face, and we do not see them. How many of you have experienced the person who puts the glasses on top of their head and then is looking all over the place for the glasses? You might be one of them. That's what it's like when we say that we're searching for the presence of Christ, and all we really need to do is recognize that he's there, that he is in our midst. On this Feast of the Epiphany, let's all try to be more open to the revealing Lord in our midst. It could be in the beauty of nature, or in the quiet of a winter's day, in the face of a newborn baby, in a walk on the beach. Those are all relatively easy revelations to ponder. But what about seeing the Lord in our own sufferings or in the sufferings of others? How do we search for Christ? How is he present in a place like Haiti or with the homeless of Hyannis? How is Christ possibly hidden in that person who annoys us so much? Sometimes we have to be the vehicle that allows Christ's presence to be felt by those who are having a difficult time experiencing the epiphany or revelation of Christ in our midst. Their lives may be in so much turmoil that Christ seems to be nowhere. And maybe it's in our being present to another that lets the star shine through. Today's Feast of the Epiphany recalls that this is a revelation to the Gentiles. Christ does not restrict his love to just the chosen people. The wise men represent all of us. They were able to go beyond the surface and see the presence of Christ in their midst. We don't have gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, but we can offer the gift of care, compassion, and love to the Christ hidden in our midst. Shaughnessy concluded his column with these words: "Those were the days when Tom Brady was invisible, right in front of our eyes." Today's feast is how Christ was invisible at first to all but the shepherds, the angels. Now the foreigners we call the Magi. We are invited to join that group to open our own eyes and celebrate the presence of Christ in our midst.